Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Deep Thought. It's a show where we take a look at some video games and think about them in a more critical and provocative manner than the average person would. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first Tomb Raider game, and here to help me co-comment is another person in what I call the commentary circle. She's a lovable Irish person and is very well known for her sexy Twitch streams. Please welcome from FTCR, the Magneticneko, Mia.
Aloha. Oh wait, that's Clement's thing. Shit. Hello.
How have you been, Mia?
I'm alright. I'm happy to be here, recording over this game that I haven't played, but, still, it looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So, have you had any experience with Tomb Raider whatsoever?
Kind of. Like, I definitely owned, some sort of thing on the PC, which was like Tomb Raider 1 and 2 or something like that, and I think I probably, like, put it into my computer once, and I just kind of was like, because, like, I was really young and I didn't get it or whatever, but, like, if I was to get a chance to play them now, I probably would at least give them a proper chance, but, I do, of course, know what Tomb Raider is and stuff. Of course, Lara Croft is the girl with the, massive assets.
That's putting it lightly.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got the entire Tomb Raider collection on Steam for $17 back in August of 2014. I've played, I think, 4 of the games in that collection. The first one, the second one, Tomb Raider Legend, and the reboot. And out of all of them, the first one is still my favorite, as we are going to learn throughout the game. But enough about that. Let's get into the game itself. So, this is Tomb Raider. It's a game released in 1996 for the PlayStation, MS-DOS, and the lesser-known Sega Saturn.
Really?
Yes. And funnily enough, it was actually released for the Sega Saturn first, in October 27th, I believe, in Europe only. All the official versions were released in November 14th, I think, a few weeks later.
That's cool. I think I have heard of like a lot of Sega Saturn games like either coming first, like early PS1 games that are like known, like in other cases Mega Man 8 and Symphony of the Night. They were both on the Saturn.
Funnily enough, Sony actually didn't want the Tomb Raider to be on their PlayStation at first, because they seemed to be very picky about what games they wanted to be on there. So Core Design had developed for the Sega Saturn first, and I guess eventually they got the green light for the PlayStation version, and the rest is history.
Cool. Is this on PC?
Yes, it is. It is the MS-DOS version.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Yeah, it's the best looking version of the game. It still looks decent to this day, but mainly because like the PlayStation and Sega Saturn version don't have, well, I mean, it doesn't have the moving polygons that those versions have.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, everything kind of just remains still. So while it does look archaic, it's better to look at than the PlayStation and
yeah,
Sega
I can
Saturn
tell this
version.
is the PlayStation version just by all the like jaggedy walls.
Yeah.
At least I think it's the PlayStation version.
No, it's the PC version.
Oh, well, I'm getting everything wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
And almost immediately press and hold the jump button. I won't actually jump until the last minute.
Anyway, this room right here, this is Lara Croft's Manor. It's one of the more popular locations in the Tomb Raider franchise. It's actually based off of the studio that Core Design worked on the game at.
Cool.
Yeah, it was the game was worked on by a team of 6 people, who none of which it had a lot of experience with like 3D games. And so considering this took about 3 years to make, it's not much of a surprise.
It's pretty good for a team of 6 people, because like development teams back then were quite small, and the fact that it did take them 3 years, at least they put effort into it.
Oh, definitely.
I'll grab the ledge on the way down.
This tutorial basically lays out the basic controls and what you'll be doing in this game. There's a lot of jumping, a lot of climbing, a lot of putting yourself onto ledges, a lot of falling down, and as we'll see in the next room here, a lot of swimming.
Go for a swim.
One question I have, sorry, about the controls, which you were about to mention. Do you press a button to like jump and stuff, or is it like in Zelda where you sort of just position yourself and hope that Link jumps to the next platform?
You actually press a button.
Okay, that's good.
Controls are okay, kind of. The only problem is there's a bit of a delay towards the jump button, and that can be very, very, very annoying, especially when it comes to platforming.
Yeah.
Controls itself are kind of like tank controls, the movement, kind of like in Resident Evil. It's, again, archaic, but it works.
It's an old 3D game, so you can kind of forgive it. I mean, this was... What year did you say this came out again?
96.
Yeah, this was around the time Mario 64 was brand new, Crash Bandicoot had barely been out for a year, and there just weren't that many 3D games in general that like had this kind of control scheme, so it's understandable that they're kind of archaic, but, you know, technology marches on.
Yeah. It's held up quite well since when it was released, and that's saying a lot considering that a lot of games of this type have not really held up that well.
Yeah.
So the story to Tomb Raider is Lara Croft is finding an artifact called the scion. It is something to do with Atlantis or something like that. So anyway, she had been hired by someone to go to Argentina and, well, find a piece of the scion. There are 3 pieces, and this is basically her mission.
Oh, that's so mean! Oh my god, she shot the dog and they made the dog bleed. That's horrible.
Well, the dogs are threatening.
I don't care, that's so mean. That's like really mean.
Well, they killed that guy. Kind of like disfigured his face. It's understandable, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll be killing a lot more animals, unfortunately, in this game.
Yeah.
People really don't get killed in here. I mean, some people obviously get killed, but
Yeah.
it's more the animals that get the casualties.
Aw.
So Tomb Raider is all about jumping about, climbing up on ledges, jumping around ledges, and getting towards the exit. It's challenging in some places. The PC version is especially helpful in that you can save wherever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the PlayStation and Sega Saturn version have these save crystals where you can save there, but only there. But there were like a plentiful amount of save crystals in those versions, though, so it was... A lot of progress probably wouldn't be lost as long as you kept saving and saving and saving.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we have here, these are secrets. In each level there are like a certain number of secrets, and a little chime will play anytime you find a secret. That one was relatively easy. All you had to do was just kind of backflip onto that ledge, and then it'll jump you automatically onto the next ledge where you can climb yourself up and get yourself a small med pack.
I played a lot of Half-Life, so I know all about the med packs.
Yeah, very important.
Yep.
Very, very important. But collecting all the secrets will result in an overabundance of med packs. So, again, as long as you keep saving, and as long as you keep using the med packs, using combat, you shouldn't die too often.
Awesome.
Here's the next secret. This one's a little more tricky because it's very hard to get up onto this ledge unless you move yourself towards the very corner of that ledge, and then you can climb up there. A couple bats, not very difficult, and another med pack you can find.
Yeah.
Are you upset that she's killing the bats?
No, bats are annoying. Fuck the bats. I like how her boobs are like absolute triangles in this version.
Yeah. Fun fact about that, her gigantic memories were actually a complete accident. Let me just bring up the article here. Let's see. The original creator of Lara Croft, who goes by the name of Toby Gard, he was messing around with her model, character model, and accidentally made the breasts 150% larger. He was going to change them back to normal, but then the other members of the team looked at it and said, "Oh, hey, that's actually kind of cool."
Yeah.
I wanted to save this until the next episode, but we might as well talk about Lara Croft's character as well.
She's quite the sexy accent in this version.
Yeah, she does. She's a very good voice actress, too. That's saying a lot because a lot of the other voice acting in this game isn't very good.
Well, it is a 1996 game.
That's true. I mean, they kind of try, but it's not that good, except Lara. Lara's good.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, Toby Gard, again, original creator of Lara Croft, he had actually created Lara to be this very sophisticated and elegant treasure hunter. However, the game's publisher, Eidos Interactive, who I'd like to refer to as the Activision of the late 90s, wanted to make Lara like an extremely sexy person. So, like, in all the marketing for the original game, Lara Croft had been put into a bunch of provocative positions and just kind of sold off on her sex appeal, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because Toby completely went against the wishes of the original creator. And it actually got to the point where after the first game, Mr. Gard had left the team. So this was the only game that Lara Croft's original creator had worked on.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, it is a damn shame.
I mean, yeah, she has big boobs, but, like, she can still be awesome. Like, she can still be, like, you know, you don't need to just market her because she has big boobs. That's just one cool feature about her. One of many.
Yeah, I do this show on my original main YouTube channel called Controversy, and Tomb Raider had caused some controversy, but it was for something completely different. I might mention that later. But I had mentioned that Lara Croft was one of my favorite female characters because, as I quote, she's a kick-ass treasure hunter who shoots first and asks questions later. But it was more on that, like, she's just this really powerful person, and she's just she's very calm about it.
Yeah.
And I just find something very appealing towards it. It's not really her figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I like her character. We killed a bear back there. That was a lot of fun. Trapped us into a wall, but we're okay.
That bear didn't seem nice. I just don't like killing dogs, because, you know, dogs are pets, and they're cute and stuff. Like, I can understand killing, like, bears and bats and stuff, because they're kind of common, and, well, not so much bears, but bats are, like, common enemies, and who cares about bats, honestly? Fuck them.
Well, technically, those were wolves, wild dogs.
Yeah, but wolves are still cute.
I suppose, but if you were to encounter one in real life, I wouldn't go up to it and try to pet it. I would just kind of walk away slowly.
I probably tried to pet it. Then again, maybe that's why I shouldn't face off with a wolf in real life.
So as you can probably tell, the gameplay is actually can be quite slow and methodical. But that's kind of like why I like Tomb Raider in the first place. It's very slow, and methodical, but the pacing it's decent. Like, it lets you go at your own pace, and like exploring throughout each level and finding all the secrets and stuff, it's very, very satisfying. Especially when you find the secrets on your own and you don't look up a guide to find the secrets.
Yeah. From what I can tell so far, the secrets, they seem kind of out of place, but they don't seem like you need to look at a guide to find them. Like, you could probably find them if you explore enough.
Well, there are a few secrets later on that are, there's no shame in looking up a guide to find them. Because as with a lot of games, there are some pretty dickish places to put the secrets in.
Yep.
Yeah. This one in particular wasn't dickish, but it was very well hidden. Like, you could easily miss the platform right there.
Yeah.
And the secret altogether.
One thing I love about these old 3D games is how some of the fauna that's growing around the area is basically just a 2D sprite.
Yeah. And it kind of rotates
Yeah.
around, so it gives the illusion of 3D, and it still maintains that it's 2D. Yeah.
It's
I like that too.
quite funny. Old 3D trick.
Yeah. Another major part of Tomb Raider is the puzzles. The puzzles, though, aren't very deep. It's just basically hitting a bunch of switches or moving a bunch of blocks or just avoiding traps and whatnot. But they're intuitive for their time, and they're not really that difficult to figure out. Yeah, unfortunately, we had to kill that wolf. It was in the way.
We can go to this next area.
Yeah, you can also fall through the ground with those little breakable platforms, too. This is kind of cool. So this first area, there's a giant door down there where you need to open, and it was pretty much just trying to get to this area to find the switch to open the door.
Fine, this...
Is this area a little too dark for you?
At least the brightness seems fine on my monitor. But it's a good monitor, so...
Well, true. But, the way I was recording this, I'll talk about that later because it's a long thing. But, the brightness, when I was editing through Vegas was incredibly low. So I had to up the brightness there. Like, the original videos are just kind of dark. You can you can barely see in some places. And even with the brightness, you can still barely see. And that'll wrap it up for this episode of Deep Thought. We will see you next time for more Lara Croft fun times.
Sure, buddy.